in the Ministry of Information, Postal and Courier Services. Thank you very much for gracing us, Honorable Minister. We really are privileged to have you here with your team, and also to acknowledge all the regulators, colleagues and friends from industry and commerce, and all those who pray for our success. Thank you very much for being with us this morning. Today we have the honor of launching something monumental and something that we believe will be a landmark in Zimbabwe. Over the past 5 years, we've had 100, I'll call them engineers within our teams, Zimbabwean professionals largely, developing what we would call cutting-edge solutions for the businesses that operate in this nation. Firstly, we have thought about what is it that Zimbabwe needs the most, and we have truly developed what we believe are world-class Zimbabwean solutions with proven Zimbabwe first-class AI talent. So what is this all about when we talk about AI compute and data centers? You will hear shortly from the President and Group CEO of Cassava Technologies, one of our major partners enabling this AI journey that we have embarked on. We recognize that no single company in Zimbabwe can build this future alone. We have partnered with Cassava AI, a visionary organization that has emerged as a critical enabler to Africa's AI future and also to Zimbabwe's AI ambitions. And through this partnership, we've established AI compute capabilities, which are a world first and also a first in Africa, to embark on this landmark journey. And we'll hear more about how this will enable Zimbabwe's AI future. So what does this partnership mean for us? It's global infrastructure and access to the best in the world. Leveraging partnerships with some of the organizations that have become synonymous with AI in the world. And I'll mention just a few, but you know them very well. The likes of NVIDIA, Google, and Microsoft, who are global leaders in these technologies, and many others that I have not mentioned. It brings computational capability, which is available to all of you in this room and available to everyone within the nation of Zimbabwe. What it enables is the sovereignty of our data, so we are able to use our own Zimbabwean data, house it in places where we can develop solutions for ourselves, apart from letting others have access to this data and build solutions to us which they will sell to us. We need to build our own expertise and capabilities. What do we bring as well? The technical expertise. We're here about creating an ecosystem of innovators and people who will change Zimbabwe's future and bring world-class knowledge to Zimbabwe's AI ecosystem. Soon we will be talking about launching what we call the Zimbabwe AI Institute, partnering with government, with our regulator, Potras, who are the implementing arm of government, and really saying how can we build the skills and capabilities in Zimbabwe through this institute. I know we've got academia here represented. We'll be working very closely with those in the academic field as well. And this is all about building an ecosystem that allows us to prosper as a Zimbabwean business, as Zimbabwean nationals, but really looking at being leaders in the world, not just in Zimbabwe or Africa, but showcasing our talent and our capabilities as a nation. Recently, in partnership with government and with the ministry, we launched the Zimbabwean National AI Strategy, and I'm sure you've all seen or heard about it, a critical pillar in this digital infrastructure development and in the sovereignty of our AI future, which aligns to the National Development Strategy number 2, which is a 2026 to 2030 strategy anchored on Vision 2030, with the emphasis on innovation and industrialization. The result for us is we're well positioned not only to be a consumer of this technology, but to be a producer and an innovator, enabled by our strategic partnerships. And in the room today, we have the Global Head of Partnerships, Oswald Jumira from Cassava Technologies, who's leading the partnership strategy for Cassava and enabling us to link into some of these global technologies that are available to us. So what does this mean for you here who are in this room? Banking and finance. And I'll give just a few examples of some of the innovations that are possible with the technology that we bring. AI-driven risk assessment, fraud detection, personalization of the services that you offer to your customers. Mining, predictive maintenance, resource optimization, improved safety standards. Agriculture, precision farming, crop analytics, climate forecasting, supporting our goal for supporting food security and our national development goals. Healthcare, diagnostic support, patient management, disease surveillance. And I will not mention telecommunications, where we've started embedding some of these solutions into our maintenance, into our customer experience, and improving operational efficiency. My team will know that we have some bold ambitions of how we can use this technology to enhance what we can do within the business, and to use that as a showcase for what is possible with AI, because we would like to become a reference center for how you can see AI deployed in our various applications. What will this mean for your businesses? Reduced costs, growing revenue, increased efficiency, and delighted customers. What we also believe is that this has to be done in a manner that is responsible, transparent, with accountability, fairness, and adopting the privacy standards that are inherent in the legislation and within the regulations that we follow. What we see in the coming years is three foundational stages of development. The foundational layer, where we will build the infrastructure, develop the solutions, cultivate the talent, and we anticipate that we will do this in the next few years. A scaling phase, where we'll go through sector-wide innovation-driven development and ecosystem development, leading to maturity, where we'll be able to develop our own applications. I recall 2 days ago, we were talking about how now we can develop agentic AI without needing to do any coding, and how every single person in our organization is enabled to develop their own agentic solutions. And we've set it as a target and as a requirement for every single member in our business to develop their own agentic solutions using AI. So this is possible, and it is happening. What it will mean for us in terms of 2030 agenda is inclusive growth, direct employment and indirect employment, entrepreneurial opportunities, and skills development. In closing, Zimbabwe is not waiting for the future. We are building it today. Through our partnership with Cassava, through Africa's first AI compute capability, and through our commitment to develop AI solutions across our key sectors of the economy, we are demonstrating that Zimbabwe indeed has the capability, the talent, and the vision to lead Africa's digital transformation. This aligns perfectly with the vision articulated by the government, His Excellency, our minister, who has championed and enabled the regulatory excellence that has made this possible. The future of Zimbabwe is digital. The future of Zimbabwe is innovative. The future of Zimbabwe is now. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And as I close, I would like to introduce the President and CEO of Cassava Technologies, Mr. Hadi Pemiwa, who will come and address us on some of the capabilities, the technologies, and the future that awaits us. For those that do not know Cassava Technologies, it is a Pan-African technology group founded by Mr. Strive Masiwa, focused on building and enabling digital infrastructure and services across the continent. It is an organization whose applications are used in nearly 100 countries across Africa, Middle East, and Latin America. And we have the pleasure and have the distinct honor of welcoming Mr. Hadi Pemiwa to the podium to address us this morning. If you could please come, sir, to address us. Thank you very much.
Because of how tall I am, they always have to adjust the microphone. Honorable Minister, good morning. DG, good morning. PEPSEC, good morning. Thank you very much for coming. Allow me to ride on the protocols that have already been established by the Director of Programs. I always like to start with a story. Because as Africans, we love stories. It's how we've been able to carry our history along. But the story I'll tell today it's a story of technology. When I look around the room, I think there are people who are old enough to remember the BlackBerry. I can even see some who are smiling because they owned some BlackBerries at some point. But BlackBerry made great phones. I owned one at some point, and I was very proud to have my BlackBerry. And then I want to talk about a platform which was called CHEG, C-H-E-G-G. It was a brilliant homework platform that was developed in the US. And for a long time, it occupied that space and it was growing phenomenally. BlackBerry and CHEG had loyal customers. They had experienced teams. They had very strong balance sheets. They were not asleep, Honorable Minister. They were awake, they were energetic. But then the game changed around them. Not the pace of the game. The game itself changed. They showed up for a football game and they found that people were playing basketball. They didn't have the height, they didn't have the shoes. It was a totally different game. Most companies today understand that change is fast and is constant, and I'm sure that you as captains of industry, government, you understand that we have to be agile, we have to be resilient, we have to optimize, we have to iterate. I think these are all the language that I hear when I walk into many of the boardrooms of our partners and customers around the world. But here is the problem. Agility and resilience are what I call operational responses to change. The team that I spoke about, which showed up for a basketball game, was wearing soccer boots. Now, it really didn't matter whether they got Puma soccer boots or Nike soccer boots, they just showed up for the wrong game. Because when you face a structural change, when the entire playing field shifts, operational responses will not save you. BlackBerry improved its phones, CHEG improved its platform, and both of them were solving operational problems with operational tools. But the substitute had already arrived. Because what the iPhone did was to make sure that the phone became an app on a device rather than the device being a phone. Structural change doesn't change how you compete. It changes what you compete for and what you compete against. So, Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, AI is not a faster version of what we have seen before. It is a structural substitute for an entire category of human effort. And every industry in this room, every one of us, government, financial services, telecoms, retail, agriculture, health, we are all staring at that substitute right now. The question is not, is it coming for you? It has already arrived. The question is, will you make a structural response or an operational response to what you are doing as a government leader and as a business leader? Pastor Gatsi, the substitute has arrived. So you also need to make a structural change. But it brings me to why today matters so much. Honorable Minister, allow me to congratulate you, because Zimbabwe has made a structural choice. Not the structural adjustment programs that the IMF used to bring to us, but a real structural choice in the national AI policy. Because the national AI policy that the team gave me to read last night, so if my eyes are red, I had homework to do overnight, because they warned me that the minister might ask me some questions about the national AI strategy. So I spent a long time poring over the national AI policy. It is not a technology roadmap. It is a development strategy. As I've crisscrossed over this continent, we operate in 25 countries in Africa. I've met a lot of ministers, I've seen a lot of AI policies, but a lot of them are not at the level of being a national development strategy the way that Zimbabwe's AI policy is. And for that, we should be proud. By my reading, the AI policy is built on 3 pillars that reflect genuine national ambition: economic growth, institutional capability, and responsible governance. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is not an operational response. That is a government that has looked at the structural shift and decided that Zimbabwe will not watch from the sidelines, that Zimbabwe will participate, that Zimbabwe will lead the region, that Zimbabwe will lead the continent. So, Honorable Minister, we at Cassava Technologies, we see your policy, we see the vision, we want to be associated with it, we want to support it. And we're here today because we want to be the infrastructure that makes your policy and your strategy real. Governments that move first on sovereign AI will not just be better prepared, they will define the standards and the economics for everyone else to follow. Zimbabwe has the policy, it has the talent, it has the connectivity infrastructure, and now, with today's announcement, Zimbabwe has access to AI compute and technology through Econet AI. Honorable Minister, at Cassava Technologies, we have invested in Africa's first AI compute center that is designed to serve the SADC region. So Zimbabwe has got access to compute, even as we sit here today. We're building a cluster of regional AI compute centers in Southern Africa, in East Africa, in Central Africa, in West Africa, and in North Africa. And we have structured this along that cluster approach with low latency connectivity because of the extensive fiber network that we've been building over the last 20 years. So we are the technology partner that is powering Econet AI. And as of today, Econet AI is an official Cassava cloud partner. It's structured in the same way that we have our own partnership with NVIDIA, where we are an NVIDIA cloud partner, the only one on the African continent today. Let me explain that in plain language, what this actually means. NVIDIA is the world's leading chip maker with their GPUs. An NVIDIA cloud partner is a certified operator that is authorized to sell NVIDIA's most powerful AI compute capabilities to enterprises and governments. Cassava Technologies holds that status for Africa, and today, Econet AI becomes our partner to bring that capability directly into Zimbabwe for Zimbabwean businesses, for Zimbabwean government, and for Zimbabwean citizens. So what does this mean in practice? It means if your organization needs to train an AI model, if you need to run large-scale data analytics, as a monetary authority, as a national statistical office, as a health department, as an education department, or if you need to deploy an AI application, you no longer need to send your data offshore to access that power. You can now do it here in Zimbabwe through Econet AI. So through Econet AI, you can access GPU as a service, the raw compute power that runs AI workloads at African market pricing. You are now having access to what we call AI factory capabilities, including model training and AI application deployment, which really means that our young entrepreneurs across this nation can develop applications that have got a global audience and that can access a global market. That is truly transformative. A growing ecosystem of AI solutions for financial services, for the retail sector, for the public sector, for agriculture, and for the health sector in the nation. As you all know, Econet has been Zimbabwe's most trusted technology partner for over 3 decades now. This partnership means that trust now extends into the era of artificial intelligence. I just want to spend a moment to tell you what sits behind this, because I think it matters that you know the depth of the infrastructure that is going to be supporting Econet AI and what it is now able to offer. Cassava Technologies operates across 34 markets in Africa, in Latin America, in Europe, and in the Middle East. We have built Africa's largest open access, independently operated fiber network across this vast continent. We have been building digital infrastructure that includes data centers and cloud infrastructure, cybersecurity, and digital payment rails over the course of that period. We have a strong shareholder base that includes the Africa Export-Import Bank, the Public Investment Corporation of South Africa, Royal Bafokeng Holdings, the International Finance Corporation, part of the World Bank, British International Investment, US Development Finance Corporation, the Finnish government through FinFund, and finally, in the last 12 months, we're the only company on the continent that has attracted both Google and NVIDIA as shareholders. On AI specifically, we have moved decisively and we have moved fast. We are the only company on the continent today that has achieved the NVIDIA Cloud Partner status with direct allocation of the most powerful AI processing compute in the world. We are the preferred regional deployment partner for some of the world's most advanced AI models, including Gemini, Claude, Mistral, just to mention a few. We have a full stack of cloud agreements that we're providing to Econet AI as part of this partnership. These are cloud agreements that we have signed with Microsoft, with Google, with AWS, and with Oracle. So as members of the private sector, you're really not going to be corralled into working with one single type of cloud. You've got a choice, and that choice will be available through Econet AI. We're also building AI models that understand African languages. Ndebele, Shona, Swahili, Amharic, Zulu, and many more. Because we understand that AI that only speaks English is borrowed AI. And borrowed AI will always serve someone else's priorities first. And we know how that story ends. We've been through that war, we fought it, we won it, and we do not want to go back there. Honorable Minister, in closing and honorable guests, I want to make a specific invitation today. Not a vague one, but a concrete one. When we're in the briefing room with the Honorable Minister, I caught very quickly that she's into specificities. She wants to know timelines. She wants to know when something is going to get launched. She said, I'm not interested in reports. Tell me what needs to be done, and we'll get it done. So we have designed something that we're calling the Cassava National Sovereign Cloud Program. It is built for governments across Africa that would like to harness AI, not as consumers of foreign technology, but as sovereign operators of their own AI capabilities, leveraging on their own data. Under this program, government institutions, ministries, revenue authorities, monetary authorities, health and education departments can access AI compute, AI tools, and AI capacity building through the partnership with Econet AI, using Zimbabwean infrastructure governed by Zimbabwean data sovereignty laws. So your data does not leave the country because Econet has already developed a 5 megawatt data center that is now operational here. Your models are going to be trained on the local context, understanding the economics of this country. Zimbabwe's citizens will therefore benefit from an AI ecosystem that was built for them. So Zimbabwe has the advantage of being able to move now, of operationalizing the policy that the Minister and His Excellency the President launched a couple of weeks ago, with infrastructure that is already in place, and a cloud partner in Econet AI that is already operating following the policy framework that you have already written, Honorable Minister. So I want to invite the Ministry of ICT and every government agency and every business leader to sit with Econet AI, not to hear a sales pitch, but to co-design what we do as a nation in order to make Zimbabwe an AI-first country in Africa. Because the countries that will own their own compute will be able to write the rules of AI going forward. The countries that will not do it will have to follow the rules that are set elsewhere and that are set for them by other people. So I began by talking about BlackBerry and about Chegg. Let me end with a different story. Not a story of companies that lost, but a story of a continent that is deciding right now that it will not be left behind. We are not going to be on the menu anymore. We want to be at the table with everybody else. And AI affords us that opportunity of sitting around the table as the rules are being made, because everybody is still at ground zero. This is perhaps the single biggest opportunity that we have, not just as Zimbabwe, but as the African continent, to leapfrog the world. And we've been able to demonstrate, if you look at the advances of mobile money, that Africa learns quickly, that we are not beholden to the past, that we're willing to let go of what doesn't work and to move forward at speeds. So Africa is not short of ambition. We're not short of talent. But what we have lacked historically has been infrastructure, the roads, the power, the pipes that turn that ambition into output. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Minister, AI runs on compute. If you do not have compute infrastructure, it is an anathema to talk about being an AI-first nation. Compute runs on infrastructure. And for the first time in this continent's technology history, that infrastructure is being built here. by companies like Cassava, who are companies of African heritage, where we are putting African priorities first. I can tell you that we fought and fought and fought in order for the GPUs that were destined for Africa to not be taken up by other regions. Africa has an AI compute center ahead of the UAE, ahead of the GCC region. That's something that we can truly be proud of. So today's launch is part of the story. Econet AI is part of the story. And Zimbabwe, with the choices that have been laid out in the AI policy and strategy, can be at the center of driving Africa's digital transformation. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President and Group CEO of Cassava Technologies, Mr. Hardy Pemiwa, with those remarks, a very poignant set of information that he gave us about how AI is functioning. Imagine, if you will, going into your garden and then looking at your patch of spinach or whatever it is, rape. Everybody's got a patch of rape, right? And seeing some disease you can't identify, and being able to just take a picture, upload that picture, and get an answer as to what disease it is. But not only that, also how you can address that disease. Well, you don't have to imagine. You can actually do it when you get home this evening, because with EcoFarmer, you're able to do exactly that. So download it, and you'll be able to, if you are a commercial farmer, you just scale it. It's just as simple as that. So a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Econet AI, delivering practical solutions and use cases that change lives. Now, I just gave you a small hint as to what you can use this technology for. There's someone far more qualified than me to speak about it, and that is the Chief Executive Officer of Econet AI, and that is Navdeep Kapoor. He's coming now to give us his remarks.
Thank you. Good morning, Honorable Minister. Good morning, PS. Good morning, DG. Allow me to use all the protocols which already have been established. Last month, we saw the launch of National AI Strategy, and that vision which was given to us gave us the inspiration for the birth of Econet AI. Our promise is that we do not want Zimbabwe to be a consumer of AI. We want Zimbabwe to be a creator of AI, and that's what Mr. Chimanekere said. So with that vision, we launched the Econet AI, and I'll walk you through it, the progress which we have made in last 5 years. And this progress has been made by the local talent. That's very important for us to understand. And some of the solutions are being adopted across not only continent, but beyond the continent. So there is a lot of noise around AI, lot of noise. You go to any conference, every board, somebody selling toothpaste will say AI inside. And at Econet AI, we have decided we'll not follow the noise. We'll follow the value, which will do the transformation, which will have impact on the society. So we have broadly our value proposition is it should reduce the cost, it should bring the efficiency, and it should grow the business. If any initiative is not doing transformation, not having an impact, we will not waste time on that initiative. That's the starting point for us. Now, I think the President and the Group CEO spend a lot of time on the building blocks of AI. You take any AI application in the world, whether it's robotic process automation or self-driving cars, they work on these 5 things. In fact, the 4th thing which has been added by us, which is language, which is very close to our heart. The building block is the AI compute. If you don't have AI compute, you can't be a creator of AI. It is very short supply in the world, but with our partner Cassava Technologies, we have been able to get the excess of that. Now it is up to us how we utilize that and how we execute that strategy. Second part of the ecosystem is the algorithms. Because our partner has given us the access of NVIDIA Cloud Partnership use cases, so all the algorithms are available for us to use it, the latest in the world and the best in the world. Third is the data. The data is the backbone or the oil of AI. Without data, you can't have any AI technology, any application or any service. The thing which we have added in this ecosystem is the language lab. Because our objective is that any person who has an idea should be able to develop an AI service or application. He does not have to know the coding, and the person does not have to know the English language. Somebody has an idea and knows only Shona should be able to develop an AI application. And that's a part of the language lab. And on top of it, we are developing a lot of services. As we go through the presentation, we'll see those services. And all this ecosystem we are bringing to Zimbabwe, and it's going to be a part of National AI Institute, which we are developing. I'll not spend much time. I think it is. Now, if you look at the past, all the technologies which were there, from first industrial revolution to the fourth industrial revolution, why Africa couldn't be on the table but was on the menu? Because we were delayed. If you look at when the steam engine were invented, it came to Africa after 80 years. When the electricity came, it came to Africa after 100 years. Internet came to us after 10 years. So there was always a gap of 50 to 100 years to technology to come. This is the first time the latest technology, which is there in Silicon Valley, is in Zimbabwe. It's a great achievement. The same GPU which is used by OpenAI is GPU which will be available to all of us. And now it is our imagination, how do we execute that and take the opportunity out of it. Now, I think we spoke about NVIDIA Cloud Partner. What the NVIDIA Cloud Partner gives? They have developed generic use cases for every industry, be it telecom, agriculture, banking, and healthcare. But what we have done is, as Econet AI, we have taken out only those applications which are useful for Zimbabwe. And then there are certain applications which we have developed which were not their part of the NCP, but we have developed on our own. And we have co-developed with NVIDIA. And the proof of the pudding is, if you look at the bottom, all global brands are taking a benefit of that. They have cut their cost by 30% so that they can pass the benefit to the customer. AT&T in telecom industry, Bank of America, Eurobank, and in GE Healthcare. We have representation right now in this room from all the industries. This is available to us. If these companies have reduced their cost and make their process more efficient, why we can't do it over here? Sorry, can you go back to the previous slide, please? For example, in banking and financial sector, the key thing is the key threat which is right now there is the cybersecurity. The cybersecurity threat in the AI era is very different to the current cybersecurity threat. We did some survey with the banking sector. Most of the banks are buying licenses of our cybersecurity tools, which is not enough and which will not help to protect the banks in this AI era. We have developed a platform which is a managed cybersecurity platform, which we do not come and sell the licenses. What we provide is the security of cyber threat using your current licenses, and we manage your cybersecurity. And we have experts from Cassava Technologies in Egypt and South Africa, which monitor your threat perception. Can we move to the next slide, please? Yes, in the mining sector, like maintenance, predictive maintenance, it can really reduce the cost and increase the safety in the mining sector. And we have developed some 40 services which can be used by the government for e-governance and making smart cities. So these are some of the use cases which are there, which are available right now for the industry to use it to cut cost and have an impact. I will just share with you some of the case studies, how we have used this technology internally within the Econet wireless and bring the change. And this will, for example, Yamrai is the only voice bot in Africa which can speak local African language. Now, right now, this solves the problem. This solves the problem right now if I'm not like, with due respect, if there's any bank reaching or any telecom company reaching the helpline, it takes 10 to 15 minutes. But AI enables that you have a dedicated customer care agent for every customer. If you have 15 million customers or 50 million customers, you are giving a dedicated customer care agent, and in the language of their choice. So that increase your customer satisfaction score, that increase your net promoter score, and your customer becomes more loyal. It can be used by any industry, and we'll have a small video on this.
Makadi imesema customers Econet. Zita rangu ndinonzi Yamurai. Ndave kukwanisa kukubatsirai nerurimi rwechishona pa 111. Fona inasi mutaure neni. Ndinokubatsirai nekukasira. Ndinobatika nguva dzose, mazuva ose. Ndinovandudzwa neAI, ndichiwedzera ruzivo. Maservices andinokwanisa kukubatsirai nawo anosanganisira kukupai PIN nePAC. Kukubatsirai kuwana namba dze-airtime dzinenge dzakadzimika pa-recharge card. Kuripota ma-network related issues nezvimwe zvamungada maererano neEconet. Ndinofara kuti pese patinotaura, ruzivo rwangu runenge ruchiwedzera. Taurai neni pa-111 nhasi chaiye.
Econet Wireless, inspired to change your world.
So before the launch of Yamrai, our customer used to wait on the helpline from 8 to 10 minutes. Now it's 3 seconds. That is the impact of Yamrai. And we can offer this solution to any company who has customers, who has to service the customers. We can offer this solution, it's available to us. It's a second case study. What we have is Cassava Autonomous Network. We used AI how to basically fix the network issues fast. Earlier, before the launch of this solution, it used to take 5 to 6 days. We have to manually do the drive test and everything to fix the solution. It used to take 5 to 6 days. Now it takes 6 minutes. That is the power of AI. And this solution is not only, it can work for any, whether it's a fiber network, whether it's a power line, whether it's a telecom network, it can work for every customer. So these are some of the case studies. That's how we have deployed these solutions internally, but they are available externally for other customers. Let's move next. There are 3 sectors which are very close to our heart, which we feel that going to have a huge impact in Africa: agriculture, health, education. And we are working in these 3 sectors very closely, how AI can transform these 3 sectors. So we have launched an Eco Farmer AI app, which basically takes the coordinates of your farm, and its objective is to double the yield. We are not trying to sell the technology. We are trying to give the solution in the hands of the farmer. Based on the coordinates of your basically of the farm, it will project daily weather forecast for your farm. Not of city of Harare, not Zimbabwe, but your farm where it is based for next 100 days. It looks at the historical data of weather, And based on that, it tells you what to do. It makes a roadmap, what are the activities you are supposed to do every day in order to get best productivity. At the beginning of the season, it will tell you that your yield should be 90%. And these are the steps you have to take in order to do the yield. In case there is a disease, you take a picture from your camera, it tells you how to treat the disease. It's quite a powerful tool. We are enhancing it. We are trying to take it a stage where you just put a VR set and you have a real-time view of your entire farm while sitting at home. I think there's a small video on this one. It's available
Agriculture
right now.
is the Agriculture is the backbone of Zimbabwe's economy, and with innovation and technology, it can help restore our place as the breadbasket of Africa. Today, AI is helping farmers make smarter decisions and unlock greater productivity. EcoFarmer AI brings this intelligence directly into the hands of Zimbabwean farmers, making sure that farmers in rural and underserved communities are not left behind in the digital age. Through a simple mobile platform, farmers receive timely insights tailored to their specific location. Farmers receive localized weather forecasts based on their exact farming area. With early pest and disease alerts, farmers can take action before damage spreads. This reduces crop loss and protects valuable harvests. EcoFarmer AI also helps farmers understand soil conditions and apply the right inputs at the right time. Farmers stay on track with calendar-driven farming practices tailored to specific crops and seasons. EcoFarmer AI connects farmers to the entire agricultural value chain, from accessing quality inputs, suppliers, and regional insights to reaching markets with trusted data every step of the way. When farmers have better information, they make better decisions. When farmers make smarter decisions, productivity increases, losses reduce, yields improve. And when farmers grow, Zimbabwe's economy grows stronger. Econet Wireless, inspired to change your world.
Honorable Minister, we have 100 engineers which are working with us, but the way the roadmap is, the country will need many more AI engineers. And what we feel that talent development, which is part of the national AI strategy, we need an AI academy where every student who's above grade 5 has to learn AI. We have the complete curriculum from beginners to the advanced level, and these programs are not made by us. These programs are made by experts from NVIDIA, Gemini, Microsoft, and AWS. We have to make the AI education compulsory in the country if we want that true innovators and true entrepreneurs rise in the AI economy in Zimbabwe. And we have all the curriculum. We can bring the curriculum to the schools, and it can be part of the national mission. Next, please. This is one of my favorite project, Chimex. It's like a Lego. You want to create anything to AI, it has all the tools. You bring the tools there and put them together, and the AI product and service will be ready. For example, we have 195 large language models on a single platform. I've not seen any platform which has all the LLM models, whether it's a video generation, whether it's your speech-to-speech context, or whether deep research, all the models for 5 providers, which is Gemini, Llama, Mistral, Claude, we have it. And along with that, what we have is the pre-built APIs. Let's say you want a KYC for the customer. You just pull it and put it, just like Lego. And with minimum coding effort, you can develop an AI service while sitting at home. And all this is available in Zimbabwe right now. It's really will push innovators and researchers. I know there are many people from the universities have come. They can make use of it to develop new services. The last one, all right, one of the biggest tools to improve efficiency, if you want to grow efficiency, you may want to make employees more efficient, is Gemini tool. So with the partnership of with Cassava, we have been able to bring this Google AI Plus. And it is going to be free for 60 days. It will be available from the 1st of May. We are working on the integrations right now. It has the deep research tool. It has the image creation. It has the video creation. All those functionalities are available, which will be free for every Zimbabwean for 60 days, starting of 1st of May. That's a great offer for the whole of Zimbabwe. So, in a nutshell, what we are saying is that, right, this is the time to execute. We have all the tools, all the technologies, everything to enable is available. The whole ecosystem is available. Now is the time that we cannot afford to be left behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Navdeep. That's a very, very dangerous presentation you made there, because we used to have cell phone farmers. You remember those cell phone farmers? Now we're going to AI farmers. Puts on his VR glasses at home, and then he's like, my crops are like this, like that, like that. That's a very dangerous time. Thank you so much, Navdeep. A big round of applause for the Econet AI CEO, Navdeep Kapoor. As you've been hearing, the national AI strategy was launched about 32 days ago, and we are here now because we are behind all that government is doing and at the very table rather than being on the menu. So it gives me great pleasure now to call upon the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Dr. Beulah Chirume, to come and introduce our guest of honor. Big round of applause for the PS.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies, for giving me this opportunity. Good morning, everyone. Let me start by recognizing the guest of honor in our midst, Honorable Tatenda Anastasia Mavetera, whom I'm going to introduce shortly. Let me also acknowledge the Director General of Portras in our midst. Let me acknowledge, I hear there are 3 Deputy Directors from the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. Thank you very much for coming, because the Reserve Bank of the Zimbabwe, as you appreciate, is the heart of the economy. Here there's Dr. Mache, Dr. Chipika, and Dr. Mutepa. Let me also acknowledge the President of Cassava, Mr. Hadi Pemiwa. Thank you very much. The Group CEO of Econet, Dr. Douglas Boweni in absentia, and the Deputy CEO, Mr. Roy Chimanikire. Let me also acknowledge directors in the ministry, Director Kupampinda in our midst, the various stakeholders who are here, particularly the heads of entities, CEOs of organizations, everyone. Thank you very much and a very good morning. Before I introduce the Honorable Minister, I've just been reflecting on what Econet is doing. And then I'm trying to tie it in with what Cassava is actually bringing. I see on TV, and Roy has shared with me, that now there's Econet Infrastructure Core. Am I correct? And that's an infrastructure entity that will set up the requisite infrastructure for what we are discussing today, which is AI. the power, the savers, maybe, of course, you will be doing your real estate, etc. Have I cited that correctly? So that alone makes me think that Econet is already into the future to enable Zimbabwe to adopt the new technology that is actually coming on board. I'm also saying Econet is not preceding government, because government has already launched the AI strategy. But they are saying we are supporting government in its endeavor to become an acknowledged country in terms of AI development and other, of course, development of other technologies. What I've also learned is that Econet is not saying we go it alone. We've all been invited, including the central bank and other key entities within the telecommunications sector, including the regulator, is here. There's need for collaboration. I've just been saying so in the briefing room, that if we work together, we achieve more. And Econet and Cassava, Econet has realized the power within Cassava in terms of their innovation and ability to set up such high-tech opportunities within the country. And beyond that, collaborated with the government, collaborated with the regulator, and collaborated with everybody who is here. Honorable Minister, I was just also saying maybe we have a disease, the disease of unnecessary competition and wastage of the meager resources that we have. Each one setting up their own little thing here. We don't get an opportunity to specialize and learn. If only we could ride and capitalize on the establishments of those people who are really game changers in that particular field, then we'll be somewhere. I hope we will not waste resources, but we'll say, what is it that this entity can do? What is it that this entity can do? And we leverage on that for the development of the country. And of course, right now, we are no longer in the past. I was just saying, you talk of BlackBerry, but I'm just reflecting 40 years back in the ICT space. And I'm just saying, is it true that a machine can really learn? And this is where we are. Machines never used to learn. There were no large language models back then. But today, you can actually train a model, right? And the essence is really to be able to train the model so that it reflects your context. It reflects who Zimbabwe is. And of course, the issues around data sovereignty and local cloud computing. I thought I could just buttress the points that were made this morning in the beautiful presentations. And thank you very much, Cassava. Thank you very much, Econet. The CEOs just presented Gemini and whatever we are actually doing. You know, and I like the Yemrai because they speak in a manner that I understand. Yeah? They are also trained to say, these are no-go areas within our own context. And that is what we want as Zimbabwe. Thank you very much, Econet, for this initiative. Now to why I'm here. I'm here to introduce a very special person within our midst. I will not talk about the energy because Hadi, you have already talked about that. To say she's a real go-getter. She will run and we all follow. Sometimes, you know, she will hold your hand to say, let's run together, peers, so that we achieve the goals and aspirations of Zimbabwe in the ICT development. She is the Minister for ICT, Postal and Courier Services since 2023, and of course, in her own right, a politician representing Chikomba West constituency. She also served as a proportional representative member of parliament for Seke district in Zimbabwe's 9th parliament. She has really become to be recognized at international level. You appreciate, and I'm sure we have all heard, that she is now serving as the president of the Smart Africa Council Ministers in charge of ICT. And the Smart Africa, we all know that. And she was elected to that position on the 8th meeting on 24 March 2026. So she's providing continental leadership. Let me divert a little bit from talking about, to say, you appreciate that Zimbabwe has been chosen to lead in the agri-tech space within Smart Africa. And as you were talking, I was saying, we are on the right. This is what the minister needs to present as she goes to those meetings, to say, what is it that we are doing in terms of AI? Because that is what we've been given. Countries have been given different sectors to pioneer and lead. In Zimbabwe, we've been given agriculture. So please, let's share so that we prepare a very wonderful report for the minister to present at the AI Council. In addition, she is one of the only 7 African ministers appointed to the inaugural Smart Africa Artificial Intelligence Council, a very high-level ministerial body established again by Smart Africa in collaboration with the African Union to guide Africa's approach to AI policy, governance, ethics, and innovation. She also assumed the chairpersonship of the Pan-African Postal Union, PAPU, a position which she just relinquished in March 2026 after a very successful tenure, 5 years tenure in that position. She has also overseen, as we have heard, the completion of the Zimbabwe National AI Strategy, making Zimbabwe one of the 17 countries with such a framework. I think we've done very well as a country. We need to give them. And currently, she's leading us in working on the National Cybersecurity Strategy and also the Child Online policy. You have heard, we are going out for consultations to amend the Postal and Telecommunications Act to reflect developments in the sector. And again, she's taking a very central role in leading that. And she has also presided over capacity building initiatives, cybersecurity training programs, and a lot of ICT initiatives in the country. Sorry, I'm not, there's no discrimination here, but she's an advocate for youth and women empowerment. So there's no description. So, Mr. President, don't feel you are being discriminated. And also, she is the ZANU PF provincial spokesperson for Mashonaland East Province, making her the highest ranking woman in the party structure, and of course demonstrating her commitment to enhancing women's leadership. I'm sure you have seen her wear pink a number of times. Have we? Have we? Yes. Why? She's the pioneer of the 4ED movements. And she has established the Young Women 4ED Fora. So I don't know whether we can establish an AI 4ED Fora as well. We can try and do that. Honorable Mabetera has numerous awards recognizing her leadership and advocacy, including the ICDL Recognition Award, the Zimbabwe Achievers Award for Advancing Women and Youth, the Youth Champion Award, and Eminence Business Awards. Inclusion among Zimbabwe's 40 under 40 most influential young business leaders by the Institute of Corporate Directors. The Marketing Champion Leadership Award and recognition as one of the top 50 most influential women in Zimbabwe. And academically, she's also solid and sound. An avid reader. You took a night to read the AI strategy, Mr. President. The Honorable Minister will read it in 3 hours. She holds a marketing degree in strategic marketing and is currently pursuing a doctorate in business leadership and ICT with Midlands State University. So she brings along quite some extensive experience in the ICT sector, having dedicated over a decade in digital transformation activities, innovation, and of course, inclusivity, leaving no place and no one behind in terms of ICT development of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, can we put our hands together as I humbly ask the Honorable Minister, Tatenda Anastasia Mabetera, to rise and come to the podium to address us. Honorable Minister. Thank you. Hey, PS, that was long. Hey. Thank you, please sit. Hi. I kept on saying, when are you going to finish? PS. Yeah. Good morning. It's an AI morning to you all. Allow me to recognize the Director of Ceremonies who is here today. Barry Manandi. Yes, you still remember him from TV? You do? What about me? Do you still? It's good to see you, my brother. Thank you very much. Let me recognize you. Allow me to also recognize the Honorable Deputy Minister for ICT, Postal and Courier Services. Our apologies, he's not here. He's in Mapisa. Tomorrow we are going to be launching free Wi-Fi hotspots in the country. So he's preparing for that with His Excellency. Let me recognize the Permanent Secretary. We always call it Dr. B. Dr. B. Chirume. Let me also recognize our Director General from our regulator, Dr. G.K. Machengete from Porters. The Deputy Governors of the Reserve Bank, here present, Dr. Aimache, Dr. J. Chipika, Dr. J. Mutefa, who are also here. Allow me to recognize Baba Weshomweya, Baba Gatsi, Let me recognize the President and Group CEO of Cassava Technologies, Mr. Hadi Pemiwa. Please clap hands for me. So I remember I got this from, I like social media a lot. Be it X, LinkedIn. Yeah, so everyone was asking me, Honorable, how come you've never been able to have cassava in Zimbabwe? That's why they didn't think cassava is here, because we had never had such a person coming through. So thank you very much. You have made my job very easy. Well done. Thank you and welcome. Let me recognize the Group CEO of Econet, Dr. Mboweni. I understand he's got another commitment. He's not in the country. Let me recognize directors in the Ministry of ICT. Here we have got our director, Mr. Cooper, who is here with us. Suppliers, partners, select customers of Econet here present. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me say all protocol observed. It is my great honor to join you today for the launch of Econet AI,
a milestone that signals Zimbabwe's firm transition from aspiration to action in the digital age. This event comes at a defining moment for our country. Exactly a month ago, when His Excellency our President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, launched Zimbabwe's National AI Strategy, 2026 to 2030. Zimbabwe has shifted from being a passive consumer of technology to becoming a creator and innovator. This was mentioned by all other previous speakers who came before me. The launch of Econet AI exemplifies this change, occurring at a vital intersection of supportive government policy and remarkable private sector innovation. It shows that key players in the ICT sector are responding to the President's call, His Excellency Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, where he says we need to harness new technologies and also embed artificial intelligence in our operations for economic development. The launch of Econet AI is part of our commitment to the National Development Strategy 2, which aims to foster a digital economy and elevate Zimbabwe to a prosperous, knowledge-driven upper middle income status. This transformation focuses on leveraging digital technologies to create new opportunities for everyone. I want to thank Mr. Pemiwa, who went on to say that we want to be a Zimbabwe, an AI-first country. This is within our AI strategy, and I totally agree to that. As Zimbabwe, we are strategically positioned for us to achieve this. Ladies and gentlemen, today's launch therefore says AI is no longer a future technology concept, but it is here. It is already with us, beginning to define and impact how we work, live, and do our business. I believe nations that are investing in AI today will shape the global economy tomorrow. Zimbabwe has made the strategic choice to lead this revolution and actively compete for the future. I am pleased that I've just witnessed that here at the Econet AI launch, it is in line with our national AI strategy, which is guided on 6 pillars. Thank you very much, the President, in small letter P for cassava, for reading it. To say, we have got 6 pillars. It's important, maybe some of you have never had an opportunity to go through our national AI strategy. Okay, maybe I should ask to say, how many have gone through it? Hands up, please, hands. The national AI strategy, please. Interesting. Why? Okay, how many have not read the national AI strategy? I'm surprised because we launched it 3 weeks ago. And I think as people in the tech sector, at least that should be your footprint to what you're supposed to do in your various organizations. Okay, for the benefit of the majority who didn't read the AI strategy, we have got 6 pillars. I'll try to unpack the 6 pillars. We have got pillar number 1, which prioritizes robust AI infrastructure and computational capability. That's number 1. And there we hope to build sovereign digital capacity, where as a country we need to make sure that we foster innovation, protect our data, and ensure that Zimbabweans develop solutions. Number 2, we have got AI talent development and capacity building. There we are speaking into innovation, where I believe that the future of AI relies on our people. The future of AI has to speak to our engineers, our data scientists, and our young innovators. We need to utilize our high literacy rate that we have as a country. And when we were in the briefing, we spoke about the talent that we have as a nation. And above all, the intellectual capacity that we possess as a country. It's not a secret, our Zimbabweans have done extremely well in the tech sector globally. It really shows what we're capable of doing as Zimbabwe. And again, we have our heritage-based 5.0 framework, where we need to create a strong AI talent ecosystem. Thirdly, we're speaking into the adoption of AI in our services to transform various services that we offer to our citizens and make sure that it embeds AI. Therefore, we are saying that we need to enhance service delivery. We need to look at ways how we can also improve customer experiences by embedding AI in all these operations. Fourthly, we are focusing on AI governance, ethics, and regulatory frameworks. This is quite critical. We don't need to import AI. We need to create an AI locally that also has got our own features. Therefore, it's important that we come up with governance frameworks. I want to applaud Econet for really taking the lead to say they want to establish a Zimbabwe AI Institute. Well done, and we're ready to support. As government, where we come in is for us to create an enabling environment, and secondly, to support all initiatives that private sectors have to bring on board. And I really want to assure you that from my office, we are ready, and we spoke about it when we were launching our AI strategy to His Excellency, our President, and he was very happy and keen to also support the Zimbabwe AI Institute, which is private-led. Fifthly, we are pushing on AI research, development, and innovation, which is the fifth pillar. And this is quite critical because we need to make sure that Zimbabwe is a hub for advanced AI research, promoting scientific discovery and local innovation. By enhancing both fundamental and applied research, we believe that we need to shift from technology, where we need to shift from technology of consumers to producers, for us to then be able to shift from there and have competitive AI solutions. The sixth pillar then becomes strategic international collaboration and diplomacy. I'm sure you have seen us as government hand over officially to various countries who we are in partnership with, who we believe have already taken a step in leading on the adoption of AI. I'm sure you saw us hand over the AI strategy to China and also Russia, to just mention a few. We believe that there are already countries who have also done a lot. But all we need to do is for us not to reinvent the wheel, but be able to partner and find ways that we can for us to form partnerships that boost national capabilities, attract investment, and promote technology transfer. So these are the 6 pillars for the national AI strategy. Like a teacher that I am, may you please now raise your hands and outline the 6 pillars. So that at least I would really be able to know that you are listening. Please. Yes, if you are not going to raise your hand, don't worry, I will actually assign you to do that. From each table. Yes, I'll start from this first table, yes. Yes, one person, one of the key pillars, yes. Yes, sir. AI governance, yes, and ethics, yes. Good, thank you. That table there are a lot of ladies I can see the ladies. Yes, on that table. The second one. AI talent and capacity development, yes. Thank you. That table there. Yes, that table, yes. The third one. On that table, that last one. Oh, yes, I'm coming to this one. The one at the end there. Yes, sir. I can see you. Yes, yes, sir. International collaboration. Yes. Yes, that's the fourth one. Yes, please. Oh, that's the third one. The fourth one, yes, ma'am. AI research and development. Yes, thank you. 2 more to go. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Yes, AI adoption in services. The last one. Which one is left now? Oh, good. Okay. The last one. Which table now did I not? Yes, this one. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, AI infrastructure and compute capabilities. Thank you very much. Well done. So I'm sure, Mr. Pemiwa, you heard it quite well. That's what I always do. So thank you for reading the AI strategy once again. Distinguished guest, it is within the context that today's launch becomes highly significant because public-private partnerships are central to the successful implementation of our national strategy. While as government, we have the responsibility to develop enabling policy frameworks and craft broad strategic blueprints that dovetail with our national development strategy, we require the ingenuity, innovation, and investment of the private sector to make it a reality. I want to congratulate Econet AI on its investment in compute capabilities and enterprise platforms as part of our national AI strategy. The Econet Group's investment in telecommunications and digital technologies reflect their confidence in Zimbabwe's economy and future. This commitment to empowering our people is commendable. Congratulations, Econet and its management. As government, we continuously commit to create a conducive environment that fuels innovation, growth, and creativity through supportive policies, sound regulatory guardrails, and continued investment in digital infrastructure. Today is not merely a product launch. Today we are planting a flag. We are declaring that Zimbabwe will not be a spectator in the fourth industrial revolution. It will be active, vocal, and ambitious. Econet has always been more than a telecoms company. You gave us the mobile money revolution with EcoCash. You democratized the internet. And now, with Econet AI, you are handing the pen to our youth to ride Zimbabwe's smart future. AI is the new electricity. To ignore it is to plan for poverty. And to embrace it is to plan for prosperity. The future belongs to those who prepare for it, Malcolm X said. So as Zimbabwe, we need to make sure that we are deliberate on planning for our future. Policies do not code software, but people do. And that is why we're here today. Because Econet AI speaks to the people. Econet AI is here to make sure that the people are ready to embrace artificial intelligence. Allow me to say that I want to make sure that I would speak into the various initiatives that Econet has had. I want to applaud Econet Eco-Farmer that we have, which is Econet Farmer AI now. And as Zimbabwe, like what the PS said, that we are leading in terms of smart agriculture in Africa. So we need to say the Zimbabwean story. How then are we able to make sure that we will be able to deploy Econet AI modules in various initiatives that we have, even in terms of even embedding AI in weather analytics, to just mention a few, so that at least we become productive as a nation. We know that Zimbabwe's backbone is agriculture. So therefore, I want to applaud you for these initiatives, and we are ready to support and find out more ways for us to embrace everyone in making sure that they embed AI in agriculture. Secondly, I would also want to commend you for prioritizing indigenous languages. As you can see now, we have got Econet, we have got Yemurai. Yemurai can actually speak in Shona, can speak in Ndebele. And this is really the way to go. We need to make sure that as Zimbabwe, we are able to embrace our national languages. And this is the way to go. I would really recommend us as ministry to work together with Econet and together with Portras to establish a Zimbabwe AI ethics charter. This is going to assist us to make sure that our algorithms respect our privacy laws, our cultural norms, and our own languages. So I would really encourage you to work on that. We know we have got our readiness assessment methodology report, which spoke into the ethics before we came up with our AI strategy. So I would really encourage you to then be able to come up with this, and we establish it and we become very deliberate and come up with an AI ethics charter. Thirdly, I really think it's quite important that we then come up with a way that we can for us to work towards coming up with a youth development levy, which we deliberately ring fence for our young people. And what we then need to do is for us to upskill our young people in terms of AI. This partnership is best done if we're going to also partner with Econet AI. I think it's important that we get to even establish district AI hubs that we can then be able to, even in each province, we can first establish one where we'll be able to make sure that these are equipped with compute facilities where our young people can be able to learn from. I think we need also to then leverage on Econet AI APIs. So definitely this is really the way to go. Let's see and find a way that we can work towards that. We know very well that the Stone Age didn't end because we ran out of stones. It ended because we found iron. And the manual labor age will not end because we ran out of people.
remarks, it gives me great pleasure to call upon the Deputy CEO of Econet, Roy Chimanikile, to come to return and finish what you started.
AI is the beginning. I hope you enjoyed what we had to offer this morning. But more than enjoying what we had to offer, I'm here to synthesize everything that we've heard. The first thing that I'd like to acknowledge, and which you may have seen from all the presentations, is the great support that we have from government, from our ministry, from our regulators as enablers to everything that we do. So, Honorable Minister, would really like to sincerely thank you for the partnership and to thank all the other regulators, the Reserve Bank, who are the nerve center of the economy. All of this would not be possible without your support in regulation, in policy, and in enabling us to really dream big for Zimbabwe and for Africa. I have 5 things that I would like to leave you with as we close today. And these are ways in which you engage with us, how we move from conceptualizing, from vision to action. As you've heard, the minister is full of energy. We joked about that earlier. And we really want to talk about, so where do we go from here? So the first thing that I would like to say is, how do you engage with us going forward? Firstly, what we want to be able to do is to have a relationship which is not a provider of services and clients, but really a strategic partnership. We want to understand, what are your strategic priorities? How do we align our AI capabilities to what you want to achieve? And how do we provide executive level support? So we want to be in your CEO's office, helping the CEO to design the AI strategy of your business. We want to move at pace because the first movers have the best advantage. So we want to be your strategic partner and not an IT services provider. We want, going forward, to be able to set up executive level sessions with your boards of directors, with your executive management teams. The CEO of Econet AI, my colleague Navdeep Kapoor, will be available to bring experts that will help you to design your strategies and to align your capabilities with what we want to deliver to you, and to help you at scale to deliver the value that you need to deliver to your businesses and execute your strategies. My office will be there to support you and to support Navdeep in executing these strategies. A number of you have my number personally, and some of you, we will create a platform for you to engage with me and Navdeep personally to be able to create these executive platforms. The second thing I would like you to leave with today is, you've heard a lot of interesting technology that is available. How do you access this technology? So firstly, the access to cloud, and you've heard about the cloud partnerships that Cassava brings. The national sovereign cloud, so if you're working in government institutions, learning institutions, we want to have data at our fingertips and compute that we are able to use in Zimbabwe that is Zimbabwe specific. So we want you to be able to access the national sovereign cloud, which gives you the access to compute across all the different applications to develop the technology that you need. I really loved, listening to Yamurai speak. I know one of the challenges Navdeep had was to make sure that it can speak with an African accent. We speak English in a certain way, we speak Shona in a certain way, and we wanted Yamurai to sound like any one of us. And it's amazing what's happening in the language labs. And for you to be able to talk to your customers using these applications, we want to give you access to this technology. So speak to us about access to the technology that you need for your business. The third thing that we all have to do together is to develop the ecosystem. And that ecosystem helps us to cultivate the talent that will develop these applications for us, surface local innovation led by our own innovators, and build capacity and digital literacy. And the Honorable Minister spoke about her ambitions to create centers of excellence across the whole of Zimbabwe where young people can have access to this technology. Ultimately, this will create opportunities, create jobs, create livelihoods for our young people and for the Zimbabweans in general. So what this AI system will do is allow each and every one of our businesses to have the talent that propels what we need to deliver. Government is committed, and you've heard the commitment from government. We are committed as a technology partner to you to bring the partnerships, to bring the best resources and skills that we have, and as you've heard, to build the infrastructure that is required to make this possible. The fourth thing that I would like you to live with today is, we've heard the buzzwords of AI, but it only becomes relevant when it is customizable for what you need to deliver to your customers. So we need to co-design sector-specific applications, and we will need to work together on this to localize our AI models, to pilot and train them in what we want them to do, to measure the impact, and to create meaningful impact with the solutions that we need to deliver. And here is our commitment to you, and that is the fifth thing that I would like to mention, is to engage with you at the highest level in your organization, at a strategic level, to engage with government at policy level, at government and strategy level, to ensure that we capacitate the country to achieve its AI ambitions, to give the compute capability that will make this possible, and to help build the ecosystem that we all need for AI to thrive in our respective institutions. And you've heard us speak about the Zimbabwe AI Institute, in which we will partner with government to develop the skills and resources that we all need for AI. So this is the path forward for all of us. Zimbabwe has a digital future. It is innovative, and it is now. So we invite each and every one of you to be part of this journey with us, to engage at the highest level, to access the best technology in the world, to customize it to Zimbabwe-specific and Africa-specific solutions, and to partner with us in creating the ecosystem that makes this all possible. Government is committed. We are ready. We are also committed. The infrastructure is being built and being developed and is ready for your use. The time is now. AI is just the beginning, and your opportunity has arrived. So I thank you all for coming to be with us this morning. I thank our dignitaries, Honorable Minister and your team, government, represented by the various arms of government, our colleagues and friends in the business sector, the education sector, academia, those in the different sectors, mining, finance, education, for being with us today. And I'd like really to say, AI has arrived. This is the future, and it is your future. I thank you. One of the things that you've heard said time and again in this platform is how the Minister, Honorable Tatenda Mabetera, has championed the cause, not only for Zimbabwe, but for Africa. And we'd just like to especially recognize her this morning. You've heard how she is championing the profile of Zimbabwe through the Council of Ministers, where she is chairing the Council of Ministers on ICT through the Smart Africa Alliance, and how she is on the board of the Africa Intelligence Council. And we just wanted to give you, Honorable Minister, a token of our appreciation as Zimbabweans and as a nation for what you are doing, the energy and enthusiasm, and the pace at which we are moving forward as Zimbabwe through your leadership is tremendous. Here to support you in everything that you're doing, and we are really rooting for Zimbabwe and for you to succeed in all your endeavors. Honorable Minister, we've prepared a token of appreciation for you this morning, just to recognize your leadership for Zimbabwe, and not only for Zimbabwe, but for Africa as well. So, Honorable Minister, this is a plaque that we've just created for you. We will engrave it with your accolades, and we want it to be something enduring to recognize your time with us, the leadership that you have displayed in the industry and in Africa, and really to be a memento of this occasion and for everything that you're doing for us in Zimbabwe and for Africa. We thank you, Honorable Minister.
I can never do that alone. PS, please come through.
Thank you very much, PS, for gracing us. And we have these flowers as a token of appreciation for being the guest of honor this morning. So we thank you, PS. We thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we thank you all. I'll hand over to our Director of Ceremonies for the closing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roy. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Econet AI. AI is the beginning. There was a moment there where I almost typed out to Yamurai, how do you unwrap a gift for the minister? And then Fungai jumped in and boom, got the job done. Ladies and gentlemen, as we close, allow me to call Pastor Gatsi to return and close for us in a word of prayer. Round of applause for African champion boxer.
Yeah, it's exciting. You know, it reminds me of a scripture which says the children of Issachar, which were men who had an understanding of the times and to know what Israel ought to do. So what we have gathered here, we have people who are trying to say to us what Zimbabweans ought to do. And I feel that you and me must join and be able to say, yes, I'm going to use AI. Amen. So we pray that God will help us, that He will give us understanding. So I brought a shofar here. Usually I blow this, it's a shofar, to just say, please go for it. And you need to understand that God wants you to go and do something with AI. Amen. So I'm going to blow the shofar as closing. It's a special shofar. Just to blow and to say, we have got something here. The children of Issachar have given us information here. We have been told to go and do something, and that's what we are doing to do. Father, we just thank you for everything